Welcome back, everyone. We just saw domination take place on Ascent, where Oxygen takes a 13-4 win against Together We're Terrific. And wow, this is, I think, not the way that we were expecting this to go. On the desk right before we went into this map, Lemon, we were talking about how it could be close. There's some good chances, but that was not the case at all. Oxygen didn't give any space at all, any opportunities for Together We're Terrific to win.
Yeah, and this is not feeling like an undefeated team right now, feeling very defeated after that first one. But as Wyatt said, I don't feel like TWT did that bad. I think Will just needs more support, I think was the bottom fragger. But usually in that, I don't always blame the duelist in that moment, but how the initiators or how the rest of the team are supporting that Jet that dashes in, that tries to open up the site or tries to get a play going. And TWT just really never had a good advantage to work with. Oxygen were rich for so long, and Wyatt, I'm hoping for something better next map.
Yeah, I am too. I really do stand by. I think TWT were macro game. They were totally fine. They just comprehensively got so individually owned in the fragging department. I mean, they just, not one player on the team finished positive. I mean, again, Mitch is dropping 21 kills and never losing a gun duel. Yeah, there's just, I don't know, sometimes you just literally can't kill anybody, even though you're doing the right things. Because again, this is an FPS game, and sometimes you just get shot. And they got shot.
True.
And you die.
A lot.
It's pretty tough, and especially now that we get the chance to look at this graphic, you see that 7 of those first kills went the way of Together We're Terrific. So that is a pretty good amount of first kills, but when it came to the conversion, it was just not going there. We talk about the 13-4. 2 of those rounds was the first pistol and that second round for Together We're Terrific, and then 2 of the other rounds that you see kind of halfway through the first half that they're able to get. And we saw, like Wyatt is saying, so many rounds where it just came down to the duel. It wasn't even down to the utility or the team execute into side. It was just the 1v1s that so many times Together We're Terrific were losing and just not able to turn around. The one that stays with me is that 2 or 3 clutches that we saw coming through for Oxygen, one of them by Redux, in a 1v3, just knowing how to isolate those duels and how to win them. And it's just a team that Lemon looked confident, looked good to win this first map and potentially the second one as well.
Yeah, they all had their individual moments of shining. Like we were talking about the Sova, the Hunter's Fury from Verno gets valued, like gets kills. Redux had a clutch moment. Dapper's utility is always slowing people down, like getting to explore where people are. And then Mitch, like me and Wyatt were just talking about Mitch the whole time of this guy is scary. And this is one of the best performances we saw out of Mitch. And I think that really hurt kind of the entry fraggers of someone like Will, who had a very uncharacteristic, quiet performance. And you need him to be louder in the next map for TWT to have a shot.
There's going to be a lot more for sure that's going to be needed. And it's just, again, not what we expected. We expected maybe a couple back and forwards, even if Oxygen is able to close it out at the end. Do you think Wyatt this second map of Sunset can help that reset take place for Together We're Terrific to take us to map number 3?
I mean, no, I don't. I mean, they're just... I mean, when a team is just like firing on all cylinders like this, I just don't think TWT can win this game right now. I mean, the form is just too outrageous for Oxygen in this game that I don't think they can catch up to it at the moment. I mean, they were doing so much right and it just didn't even matter. Like, when you're looking at the first kill thing, like it wasn't that big of a difference. It was 10-7. Yeah. And they were so aware of how Redux likes to play with the op on defense. A lot of those first kills were shutting him down straight away. And it just, they struggled to culminate that into round wins. And I really, honestly, I don't even think they should walk away from that game feeling that bad. Like, I really don't. I mean, sometimes you just don't get the kills. It's just, that's the game sometimes. Like, it happens. They were doing the right things. They were getting the right kills. They knew how to stop Redux. But just, that's the game sometimes. It happens.
Yeah, it happens. It is also the understanding that comes from the side of Oxygen and how to turn those 4v5s around, those 3v5s every single time, because they did it multiple times, right? This is how you see those 7 first kills not even convert into the rounds that the side of Together We're Terrific end up winning. But on the second map, at least, just for the sake of seeing a close match between the two, we're hoping that they can take us to map number 3, but we gotta jump into the agent select, see if that's actually gonna be the case, because Oxygen, they have not played this map when it comes to challengers, and on the other side, Together We're Terrific have played this, and as I'm seeing it right now, a couple differences here and there, mainly the Viper from Together We're Terrific, and Oxygen just showing us this composition for the very first time. But it's time to find out if it's actually gonna be the trio, it's gonna be continuing this domination for Oxygen, or is gonna be Together We're Terrific coming back from this one and taking us to a map number 3. And I send it once again to you guys.
Thanks so much. We'll see if this will be a quick day or not. I know you're on your hate train for Together We're Terrific, and you say they are fine, but will not feel fine after they hear what you have to say.
I keep giving them credit. it's not them. It's not you. It's me. They're in that. It's that situation. You know what I mean? It's not. Yeah. I swear to God, they're not doing anything wrong. It's just sometimes you run into a team that's just white hot. And listen, maybe it'll cool off. A little bit of break. We're on a new map. Maybe Oxygen cool off a bit. And TWT, if they continue to play the macro game well, it could be a much closer game. It certainly could be. A lot of it. Listen, I'm looking to see how the form is again here for Oxygen on map 2. If it's just going to be that white hot continuation, or if things are going to slow down just a little bit. Dapper going to get that opening though. Neptune, quick trade though, and I like this. They're trying to punish Dapper. What? How does he slip through the cage and do that? All right, they at least trade it out, but that's absurd.
Dapper gets the rob a kill there. Yeah, it was a 3-2 split from Oxygen, 2 in mid. That managed to do enough damage into TWT to equalize things now 3-3 with Spike planted at A. Here's the retake. 3-man swing for the TWT. Now using the cage and the Omen smokes to just hop from one safe area to the other. And now they get naded out by Redux. Time slipping away for TWT, who've now established themselves on the site, but Oxygen have a crossfire set up. Redux pushed away by the Will nade. Spike is being tapped. Snakebite kind of locking down the corridor. Redux reemerges, gets one. Kanpeki left in a 1 versus 1. Knows where that last player is, and they're just gonna go down with the ship at this point.
Clean shot at least. Again, this is another situation in mid where TWT, I like how they're playing it. They're doing the right thing. They see immediately, hold up, like Neptune gets the trade. They're like, wait, we can immediately punish Dapper. We're running him down together. And somehow he just like slips through the cage and gets this kill. It was so ridiculous. I mean, they eventually traded out, but it's those situations where you're just like, God damn, how are these guys getting away with this? They like Jesse Pinkman. They can't keep getting away with it moment in mid. It's just ridiculous. They start with that pistol round win, 1 share for TWT, which is going to be on Mame. Maybe he can get a headshot or 2.
Now just throwing some shots down, making some noise in mid. Using Dapper's camera to look around too. Oxygen haven't drawn out any attention from TWT. Now can start posturing towards A, with no one from TWT holding too close to A. They're more worried about Oxygen maybe coming through mid.
Yeah, Mame gonna be playing pretty far back. Gonna have an opportunity perhaps to get a clean shot off, but now that one-way smoke is gonna come down in time to just force him off the angle. Redux gonna get up top. Good post-plant setup here for Oxygen. Dapper covering lane. Redux in that high up position. 2 players ready to watch main. From that spawn side.
Wow. Neptune just got mixed up. Now all of TWT ready to swing, but with Oxygen just having better weapons at range, this is just gonna go Oxygen's way, and so it does.
Yeah, tough for TWT, of course. On a lot of these setups on this map, they do They really like leaving Mummy kind of to his lonesome, playing off of his setup or playing, a bit more passively, seeing if he can get a kill off of a trip while the rest of the team stacks elsewhere. They really let Mummy do his thing, kind of just in general when he's playing Cypher on his solo site. And he does a great job of it. I've been really impressed with his Cypher gameplay so far overall. This time, though,
right there.
He's going to leave his trip way over there in Market. One way to control A main here. But they're not actually going to fight off of it. This Viper wall is quite a nice one, though. Just keeping players at mid and at A kind of at bay.
Redux isn't afraid to extend, use the boom bot, see who could be playing close. But that Viper wall is down, and you heard Redux. Yeah, that wasn't even him satcheling. That was Will satcheling to be aggressive against Redux. Meanwhile, Oxygen planting at B. TWT right around the corner, but waiting for all 5 to be ready. The rest of Oxygen play back into B main.
Yeah, Pancakes has one smoke. He's going to be able to smoke B main off. He actually places it as a one-way, excuse me, as the rest of this retake comes in. They're going to have to make something happen. Kind of fast off that great nade.
Ooh. Okay, 13 HP and Mitch. He's just funneled out of his shelter. Great job by Will. And now through the smoke, everyone's just barking at each other. And Oxygen still have 3 up, just needing to protect the spike. And Will has no time, so he's going to try and conserve his gun.
That late market lurk from Dapper with all 5 players gathered up B main on the Oxygen side, realizing, oh, I need to get somewhere else. I need to create a crossfire angle, and working his way into market, just spamming away with the ghost, kills the planter. A nice job from him when there was so much emphasis on B main, really just got away with that for free. And again, I mean, I like the utility from TWT there. They put down that one-way smoke, capitalized off of it. It was a good nade from Will that forced Mitch out into the open, goes down. But really, it's that Dapper flank for that outplay in that situation.
Okay, Mitch, that'll cost you some health to throw that. As Oxygen try to take control of mid. TWT are just going to be ready at the crossings, whatever entry that Oxygen would try to take, they'd be ready. But Oxygen like to take mid and then go to A. They don't really cross all the way at the back of mid. They just try to see what picks they can get. Now TWT reemerge and no one's home at mid. Where could Oxygen be?
Getting drawn over to A. Kampeki's still just trying to keep his eyes on B right now. Scuba drops a smoke top mid, so that's going to make the TWT defenders feel like they could be walking up there. Now Kampeki's worried. You can see him looking market side like, oh damn, am I getting pinched right now? Am I getting flanked? Is this going to be a B split?
Now waiting for this smoke to come down, and Oxygen will have a chance. Now that it does, okay, Kampeki barely gets into the corner, doesn't even get one for his troubles. Redux takes damage. Was that from his own nade? Maybe Will's nade. Either. Oh no, Will's not even there. His own nade. So Oxygen will plant nonetheless. Now flushed out the site. TWT have a few angles to choose from, but Oxygen are assessing this well, pushing out those mid lurkers, and TWT try to get through from the top side. And Redux takes one for the road. Oxygen, time on their side with the spike still planted, with TWT trying to infiltrate, but they're just getting tripped up. Oxygen gave up space, and we're just so much better at picking TWT apart.
The cam has tagged 2 people on this retake as well that are just getting spammed down through that smoke. Just so brutal. And of course, Redux on his swing kills the one guy with a rifle on TWT as well. Just such a tough situation for them. But all right, they're able to get their full buy online now. How are they going to set this up? They've been trying to pressure mid quite a bit. Matter of fact, they're going to take a timeout here to discuss just that.
Yeah, like how can you catch up to Oxygen? Because yeah, Oxygen have been able to plant almost every single time. So the retakes, like TWT, are all coming through one angle, but losing those gunfights again, like you kind of mentioned on Ascent, hasn't bode well. And then once TWT want to be aggressive, Oxygen are okay with kind of playing this chess game of letting TWT feel like the retake is successful, to make them walk into sight, to check every angle, and then Oxygen just fight back harder.
Oh, don't mind me just choking on water really quick.
Oh.
No big deal.
I was wondering.
Yeah, just, you know, just, it's all right. All good. I'm back. Yeah, I think I'm trying to reassess my brain now and get my bearings. Yeah, I think one of the keys here for TWT is going to be fighting for B main. I want to see them take that area of the map. Oxygen now several rounds have, or a few rounds at least, have had a successful time B splitting quite easily because they've just retained that main control. They're going to put down a couple tripwires on B for Kanpeki to play around. The rest of the map, I mean, they are quite passive right now, opting to really not fight for map control anywhere at all.
So Oxygen just really want to have a gunfight in mid, and TWT smart to not peek, but the exchange, I think the last time those two collided in mid, I think both lost equal numbers. So TWT are trying to lay all these traps to hopefully have Oxygen walk into them, but now that mid is open, where do Oxygen want to go from here?
Yeah, and ooh, look at that smoke that just came down from Scuba, top right of mid. That's going to be threatening that they could be walking up and pathing to the left for a B split through spawn. But in reality, the team is gathering up for a big hit straight out of main here, with Mitch popping that null command.
Yeah, just right in the middle. And he's trying to cross through the back of mid there. That's a big risk, but Oxygen have taken entry into B, removed Kanpeki, showstopper to annihilate Neptune, and Oxygen off for the boom bot are gonna even extend past the site and see what else they can get. As TWT try to reorganize, and they look like they're saving guns.
It's just such a good hit from Oxygen. It really just comes down to, like, I mean, TWT essentially gave them all a mid for free. They really didn't contest it. They were holding super passive angles way far back. And that smoke going down from Scuba, implying that there could be a flank coming through all the way behind in the B spawn side. I mean, well, by the way, they're just hunting for these kills right now, trying to take the rifles away, and they're going to get them all, surely. Yeah, they do. But those B defenders, are their brains are split in half. I mean, in thirds. They're like, are they coming out of market, main? Are we getting flanked right now? We have no info, and they just don't know where to look, so it's so easy for that just big hit to come out of main. I mean, I'm on the Yapathon right now, but it's just such a well-played round from Oxygen. And they take the rifles out of their hands, and TWT are back on the eco. The momentum is just so beyond being firmly in their favor. See if TWT can try to find an answer here.
It's the half buy from TWT2, so it's just not even stacking like a sight fully, and Will swings, hoping for a headshot. Did not work out. As Oxygen to spray through the green box, gonna grab the orb, get Verno that much closer to the Rolling Thunder, and Oxygen looks set to head to A, and it's taking a few extra seconds, so maybe some rotators from mid can come support a little pancakes, because they are below half health and not doing so good.
Yeah, they've got the trip covering their flank. Their cam got broken in mid, so they know that there's only 2 players here maximum. All right, great shot for pancakes. Oh my god, how does he get 2 from that position? I mean, it doesn't end up mattering all too much, but some nasty shots hit regardless.
And maybe a kill or 2 from Kanpeki would be nice if you work towards the pit, but Night Ops is watching you. Kanpeki. Oh, as soon as the wall comes down, could have had a shot into Dapper there. Now, Kanpeki has been revealed and just sets up Scuba for the cross, and Oxygen continue to be flawless.
It does seem like things are starting to fall apart a little bit for TWT, which, I mean, I know for some people it's going to sound funny given that they've won 4 rounds so far, but regardless of that, like, their team play was still good, but on that round, early on, you saw Will peaked a little bit before the paranoia, just like little things being off here and there. So this might be a point where it's actually like, all right, we got to kind of reset a little bit and focus up. Oxygen are going to go for a fast take of B main with Mitch throwing utility on A, trying to just feign some presence here from the team.
Oxygen, or sorry, Mitch gets discovered by Neptune's knife too, but TWT definitely know that Mitch is there, but he's the only one that got pinged because the hit is actually happening at B. But at least TWT have 3 stacked there. Kanpeki tries to prevent the entry. Does a good job of grabbing one. TWT doing their best. Now they're caged off. Kanpeki with a 2nd kill, just spraying through the cage. And that forces Oxygen to retreat.
Really good play from Pancakes. He had his Omen ultimate up and was able to TP right over there in time to be that 3rd player anchoring the site.
It's awfully quiet in B. They're like, oh, are they flanking us? No. They're at the other site. And TWT haven't really snuffed this out yet. I guess they're just going to go together.
Yeah, content playing for this retake. Mitch taking a forward position. Wants to even the odds with a cheeky off angle. Ooh, it looks like he maybe just got spotted out. But he's still just on fire right now. All right, trade from Pancakes at least. And now you're just looking at Verno's fault line and ultimate to be the crux of winning this 2v3.
Yeah, maybe Oxygen are like, all right, have the site. Ready to Rolling Thunder through it, but Dapper at least takes one on the other side of the box. Now Verno actually has someone right in front of him. Bit of a risk. It is being diffused, being stuck, but Verno with 3 gets the Zippo clutch for Oxygen.
The util there is just too overwhelming for the retakers to deal with, and there was a lot of time. I mean, Mitch, of course, gets traded here 1-for-1, but the fact that the entire team had to run all the way from B to there and gets held up by Mitch for an additional however many seconds, maybe like 5-6 seconds, it all just adds up, and the time gets so low that when you're dealing with the breach ult at the end of that, it's just at that point, what can you really do, right? And now Oxygen again, they're going to be on an anti-eco, and it looks like they're going to opt to play this one a little bit more slowly, take a bit of mid-control off that smoke, watch it be main. A little passively, just weary of any defensive aggression here.
Yeah, because mid has been so open. Oxygen taking some peeks. They destroy the door into B usually. But now dealing with that Cypher util is going to get the attention of Mame here at the back as Kanpeki keeps eyes on mid. And Will is going there to support, and Mame just gets an opening pick onto Redux. He was peeking at B main. And you see that Verno just did a jiggle peek just to see who else is there. And as Dapper's exploring the top of mid, he gets pieced up. And this could very well be a first round for TWT in this map. We'll have to see.
Yeah, these contact pushes just getting punished by players holding the angles. Oxygen have been doing that a lot in B main on previous rounds, just walking right up silently to the trips. And that's on Mummy aware of it. Finds a nice time to peek, get that pick. Pancake spots them out, and he's just going to try to retreat. Paranoia to attempt to live. Oh my god, that is not human. He should not be getting... What? I mean, that is not something any player should be doing without, you know, illegal hardware on their mouse. Like, that is just... sure. All right. Cool, man. I don't understand. I mean... All right.
Very cool. Very. Like, did he really get hit with util? Like, did he really though? Because didn't look like it when it came to his aim. Holy cow! What a clutch by Pancakes. That's in his name too. Finally, a round for TWT. Get rid of that donut. Turn it into a breadstick and Oxygen. Go towards mid again. Not being super quiet about it though. TWT have 3 stacked A, and we'll have to see if Mame can watch the mid cross.
Listen, that is one way to start feeling some confidence and getting yourselves back into the game. reminding yourselves that, oh yeah, we are actually able to contest with these guys. Like, we are sick players within our own right. Redux making a ton of noise towards A, and look how it's drawing attention for players up mid, but Mummy is still on that angle, and it got the spike down, no less.
Yeah, fault line to set up Redux and Oxygen forced to just play as a team when they lost to Mitch early. But now Oxygen are getting caged off, so kind of that mid push is going to force them back, and Oxygen's position is revealed, but they've already have control of the A side. They just got to bring the spike there. Dapper is on his way. Verno is low, and Scuba very close to being paranoia position, but Redux just had the lineup when Pancakes was just checking out the site. This could be Oxygen getting back in the driver's seat. 4 versus 3 now that the spike is planted.
Campeki does have his ultimate. If maybe he can work into a cheeky position, pop it off, but look at Verno, low HP on this flank, and Redux just finding the perfect timing to swing. They don't know. They're about to be shot in the back, straight down from Verno on that silent flank. Working the map so well in that round are Oxygen. Redux specifically, getting all that space and that kill right there. Look at him go with the Minecraft crosshair.
And Oxygen, I mean, their post play is so good. Once they take a site, TWT haven't been able to really break it. The best chance they've had is to just fight against that entry to try and prevent Oxygen from setting up camp. Because you just cannot evict them once they are there. So 8-1 for Oxygen, kind of forgiving that round that TWT just grabbed. Now posturing towards B.
Yeah, they've got the trip over at A, so they'll know if anyone's pushing out, and they're just going to go for this full exec. Scuba's going to lay down the smokes and then go through market for like a 4-1 split. But it's going to be about dealing with this Viper's Pit in the hands of Campeki.
Gonna try and throw some nades. It's Campeki. Say goodbye to the pit and to Neptune. Redux is just that guy. So unfortunate with that pit. Came in too late. Redux with 3. TWT are very low in terms of numbers. 2 versus 3 is not impossible. Spike is playing it for Oxygen. They get to just hold B main. Watch TWT walk in. Got paranoia from Pancakes just from the side of mid. Teleports to the corner. Wants to crunch with Mame. And now Mitch reveals where he is. A swing from Mame, but Pancakes with the trade. Walks in, had no idea where Dapper was, and it's an Oxygen win after all.
A good effort from Pancakes at the end. I mean, he is trying his damn best, hitting some sick shots, but this site exec is just too good. These players are just so overwhelmed. And they probably, on the defender side, TWT needed some presence in market there. Both players being backside in the pit does just leave them exposed to being wrapped around, and that's exactly what happened. It's exactly what Oxygen took advantage of. And, wow, fast down mid, but gets turned off by the null command.
Oh, Dapper caught Will satcheling around mid, and TWT still have Campeki chilling on the other side of this Viper wall too. But he's just gonna hear the exit of Oxygen, throwing a boom bot around A, drawing TWT towards that side of the map. And Oxygen will fake it around this corner. It's Pancakes. At least he has a rifle. Oh my god. All 4! He couldn't get the 3rd! Oh, the bullet spray didn't work out. But hey, did a lot of damage into him.
Yeah, we'll take it. TWT will take it. Dapper and Mitch, such low HP. And again, Mame just going to be that guy on the opposite side of the map, playing off the cam. A bit more passively trying to get some information here, but he'll work his way into somewhat more forward position. Going to be getting great info off this camera.
30 seconds left.
Just playing off a contact from that camera. Mitch jumps in. 1 HP. No spike anymore for Oxygen. As Mame just dances around his cage. Oxygen. Now they're giving time for TWT's reinforcements to get ready. 11 seconds left for Oxygen. Going for the plant. Neptune tries to swing to prevent it. Gets shot a bit by Scuba. I think that was in the corner. Tries to teleport to a different position. And it's simple for a guy like Mame picking up 3.
These are the situations where Mummy has been thriving for his team. Rounds where he's kind of just left on one of the sites alone to anchor. He's a real knack for getting in the proper positions and playing off of his utility at the right time. Working into that little corner tucked away, having the cam able to watch both lanes in which enemies could be coming from. It's just nicely played. And obviously, I mean, Pancakes, again, this guy is trying so hard to keep his team in the game with that 2k, that additional like 100 damage to 2 players or so. It's just so nice. Redux has his ultimate up right now. Inferno is a 1 away from the Rolling Thunder. So it looks like they're going to take B main here, try to get the Rolling Thunder, and then execute the result.
And last round of the half. Use it or lose it. Oh, a showstopper would go crazy here. Oh, but Redux gets flash. Still manages to fight back against Neptune. Showstopper to the face. Pecky did not appreciate that. But Oxygen can appreciate being up 5 versus 3, ready to take the site. They are going to get smoked off, but it doesn't matter. Off of the Rolling Thunder from Verno, Redux makes his presence known, throws the frag at the back. Mame already eating damage as the Boombot will skedaddle towards Will, and he has already so much to deal with. At least takes down a Redux, but the flank from Oxygen shuts that down real quick.
Yeah, I mean, this team is just doing everything right. Their form is excellent. You can even see on that round at the beginning, TWT expected them to go for that orb. That's why they had the KO flash play. But Oxygen are just winning the gun duels. They're posted up on that angle. They're hitting the headshots. I mean, just what can you do? This team is in prime form right now. This is the Oxygen that you're watching, and you're like, yeah, these guys have... these guys still might be the best team, and they still might be the favorite to actually qualify and make partnership, win challengers this year. This is just fantastic form from them.
Well, maybe TWT are just a more offense type of team. It's all their rounds on Ascent were won on offense, so TWT, it'd be a crazy comeback. But it starts in pistol. Gotta start somewhere.
It would be a crazy comeback. TWT are a good team. It's just sometimes it's just not your day.
You'd be a great coach.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. My
it
rate
is what it is.
$200K a year. If any orgs are listening.
It's easy. Oh, well, easy for Dapper, I guess. Mame cut short. Will jumps into the loving arms of Mitch. Some flashes coming out of TWT, but there's just a crossfire from Oxygen. It's just too good. Zenny flawless too. That's an ouch.
And at this point, what more can you really say? It's just a tough day for them. Hit the drawing board. I think TWT will be back next week, you know, playing a solid game. This is just prime Oxygen. The Oxygen that was dominating in the offseason. Since picking up Dapper, this team has just leveled up even further. TWT are going to try to force into this. Stingers in their hands. It's looking like it's going to be a fast A play here.
Yeah. Good info out of Oxygen. No. A is ready, and so is Redux. Swings and gets 2. It is matched by the other side. Only one left. Inferno to defend. Had to take the bolt out. Gets filled with bullets instead. Now TWT, you would think are free to go to A, but rotations are coming quick out of Dapper, and Scuba's on the other side of the map. He is a judge though, so we'll see how impactful that'll be.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, unfortunate that Neptune goes down. The healthy player, and he had a lot of utility as well.
Oh, the judge at range here.
I have retrieved the spike.
Oof. But Mame is gonna decide to leave. 49 seconds. Cutting all noise. seeing if he can get around to where Scuba is. And Scuba's like, where all the action at? But man, if Mame decides to commit here, this judge is gonna do work. He's only 21 HP. Mame could just get sneezed
30
on.
seconds left.
Scuba emerges, actually has the pistol as backup, and it's an oxygen round. They go to match point, series point.
Match
Just brutality. I mean, they try. Listen, credit for being able to trade out that early situation with the worst guns, but still, at the end of it all,
This goes here.
what can you do? These oxygen guys are just sick right now.
It's just a good learning moment for TWT because they got Moist next week, which that's already going to be an even tougher challenge. And then TWT have Thinking Men to kind of wrap up their season in week 5. So TWT gonna do their best. That's what's important. Well, Pancakes is already dead. So
It's tough to do your
TWT.
best when you're just getting shot through smokes. It's tough. Sometimes you get shot and you die. They try to get a bit of B main control here, Mame. But look at the way that Oxygen really just have them, ensnared at this point, so aware of their positioning. With Verno watching top mid. Mitch coming to crossfire with him as well. Just finds the perfect timing on that peak. Mitch picks up the other angle. They're able to find that kill at the very least.
It's simply a gun diff as well. Like that Oxygen had a better buy. Nothing much Mame can do. 1v3. Initial damage into Redux and Verno, but the true damage was to the Ego. A 13-2 is what that ended up being. You guys should never listen to me ever again because I said this match was going to be super high. Verno just Thanos snaps himself,
What
I
just
guess.
happened to Verno? I hope my man's good. Yeah, I mean, that was a match that on paper could have been a lot closer, but Oxygen were in just insane form. I mean, I think this was Oxygen's best match so far. They were doing everything perfectly, and the players were white hot. Like, I don't know, what can you do?
What can you do, Drive? We need a better coach than Wyatt over here that just says shoot better. And sometimes it is what it is. What do we got here?
Hey, look, sometimes it really does come down to that, but there's a couple of different layers, right, as to why we saw this take place. Honestly, more than anything, incredibly impressive by Oxygen, the way that they play this, especially, even when you're going against an opponent that you do have a good feel that you're going to win against, it's so difficult to get a 13-4 and a 13-2. I mean, no opportunities, pretty much no mistakes being made. And we talked about it on the map number 1 when it came to the conversions of the first bloods, but this one was just kind of the opposite. It was no opportunity to get the first kill pretty much any single time by Together We're Terrific. It was Oxygen Wyatt absolutely dominating, and you shot, you die. So
Redux was so good on the entries on this map. Their sight hits were just always perfect. Genuinely, like, they had such a great understanding of the timing on the sight hits, but they were just working the map, getting into the right positions. They were always causing the defenders to be in bad positions, and then Redux was just satcheling in, getting easy kills. Yeah, I mean, it was just every aspect of the game from Oxygen was just perfect in this map. Nothing much else really to be said. They did everything right, and the setup from Verno and Mitch for Redux was exactly what it needed to be. I mean, you could spend another 20 minutes just talking about how they did everything perfectly, but you can only come up with so many ways to say the same thing.
Yeah, and it's not like TWT were just staggering in and getting randomly picked. Like, they really did try to retake as a team, trying different angles. They would get smoked off, and like you saw in the post play, it was just pretty much perfect out of Oxygen. Once they planted, you were not taking them off that site, and it's not like the defense from TWT really switched things up, tried to stack one site more than the other. They left mid open, which gave Oxygen a lot of options, a lot of map control to take, and this was really Oxygen's map to dictate.
it was honestly the full control, even if you're trying to find different answers, even if you take those pauses, whatever you do, it was just the full control and read and being a couple steps ahead every single time for Oxygen in the kills department, in the strategy department, and the just going in and fragging out in every single time. So it is the dominant score that if you're an Oxygen fan, or if anything, if you're a Redux fan, this is kind of what you're expecting from this guy, a guy that is kind of the promise of Challengers potentially, and eventually the promise for VCT as he turns older and you get to see that evolution. But you gotta take it one step at a time, and for now it's a great win for Oxygen as they find themselves 2-1 on the scoreboard, and now they find themselves positive, which is honestly what they needed the most. And it's actually the same. It's a 2-1 on the other side for Together We're Terrific, since they took the first 2 wins in the week number 1 and week number 2. But we're gonna send it to a series highlights. Let's review everything that happened, how those 2 maps went by so fast, and when we come back, we have an interview.
One enemy remaining. Enemy down. Standing. One enemy remaining. Flawless. 30. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Nope.
One enemy. One enemy. 30 seconds left. One enemy One enemy. Thrifty. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Welcome back, everyone. And on the desk, sometimes we like to say phrases like, if you blink, you miss it. And sometimes it goes along, and sometimes it doesn't go along. But for this match, it did really match how the vibes were, because it was just domination for Oxygen. And now it is the time for the interview. I'm here with Redux to talk about how this all took place. And Redux, I mean, first of all, congratulations. And then second of all, when we saw this match, we didn't really know the way that it was gonna go. We know that you guys are good. You individually are an insane player, but were you expecting this kind of domination by your team?
Yeah, I'd say I was expecting it. The only thing was we kind of tightened up in practice, which definitely showed. It just showed that we had way more chemistry, way better teamwork. Our decision making was better, and that just all came down to us tightening up after the first loss of the season.
Yeah, you took that loss against Moist Shopify, but you're looking better and better. And honestly, it is the most convincing win that we've had in Challengers yet. Now, I want to ask you, you are the youngest player in Challengers right now. And do you ever feel any sort of either pressure or motivation knowing that you're the youngest player?
I feel like it's a lack of pressure. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of eyes on me, I guess, but it's not really... I don't really think about that, to be honest. I don't really think about people watching me or people judging me, because in reality, the only opinions that really matter to me are my coaches and my teammates, and that's really about my gameplay. That's all the things that really matter to me. And I know we have a good routine, and we have our stuff figured out. So I know that the stuff that I do in game, I can make mistakes, obviously, but a lot of it has a reasoning behind it.
Yeah, and again, you just look so amazing on these matches. The entire team, it seems like every single one of the players got the time to shine. Now, I want to ask you, because you mentioned the team a little bit. You mentioned the way that you care more than anything about the team, the coach, and everything like that. So when the team thinks about goals that you have, are the goals kind of, let's take it one step at a time, let's take one match at a time, or is it just let's think all the way to Ascension at the end of the year?
I think it's like half and half. I think if you're looking at like the grand scheme of things, obviously looking at Ascension, but I think obviously we can't even make Ascension if we don't take one step at a time. So I think focusing more on the matches now more than the matches later is important, because obviously like things could change. Like we don't even know who we're gonna play in like the MSI or whatever. So
right. And speaking of that, and speaking of the future matches, we're halfway through this Challenger Split 1, and I want to ask you, the next two matches that you have are YFP and Core. You do seem pretty confident about the team, regardless of who you're playing, but how do you feel about these two teams?
Yeah, I mean...
What do you mean?
I mean, dude, I mean... Yeah, best of luck to them. I foresee a great match in the future, so we'll have fun.
You don't. I think you didn't even have to say anything. That already told us enough. I mean, look, you're looking good. You're looking confident, and the team is delivering the results that is expected. The expectations by you guys in the community, I feel like, are getting fulfilled. Even after the first kind of struggle in the first match, it seems like it's just up and up. So we're happy to see you thriving and shining in this team of Oxygen. Congratulations again, Redux, on this win. And just like that, we're gonna end this interview. We're gonna bring back the analysts to close out the day and what this whole week number 3 has been, because we've had, it seems like, Lemon, a little bit of everything. You were here yesterday as well, casting, and we've seen honestly the very close matches, the very close series, and matches to close us off like this one.
Yeah, we've had a week of all time. This was a day that caught me off guard. Just the Oxygen dominance, the confidence that they're radiating in their last scheduled matches, as you said, against Core. I think Core is still like my dark horse. If there was going to be someone that could try to contest Oxygen together, we are terrific. It's them, especially with how down TWT looked today. I wonder if Core could rise up and overtake them. But for now, after what I saw today, I think Oxygen seemed like a firm number 2 behind Moist, Shopify, and Group A.
So that continues to be your dark horse. That hasn't changed for you, Wyatt. Do you have a dark horse? Has it changed, or now that we're again halfway through, do you have a different take?
For me, it's still sad, and that was kind of like me too. That's my long-term investment. I'm not expecting them to be like. What? No, I'm not expecting crazy returns. Like, I'm not trying to like do a crypto rug pull with SAD Esports where I just get big returns immediately. I'm waiting. It's the long game for me with SAD. I mean, listen, I know they just got like 2 rounds in like maps or whatever, but I'm really not that down on TWT. I swear. Like I still have pretty high expectations for them for the rest of this season. And now I'm looking forward more to Turtle Troop, because I was in a state of despair watching them against Winthrop, because they should be a team that's contesting with the other top 3. And so today, seeing them actually like get in good form, now I'm excited for next week. They're playing TSM. Hopefully that should be a banger game where they're keeping up the level of play, getting better from this week, because they're good enough to beat TSM.
Let's check out the group standings now that you're mentioning a couple of those matches, because now we're officially past the halfway through this Challenger split. We're down to the last 2 weeks, so week number 4 and week number 5, to see how this is all gonna play out. And we do have the standings where you have the teams that are really looking insane, like M80 and like Moist Shopify, and the teams that have not been able to close out a win limit, like we have for the Glazers and Thinking Man, just having some close series but not closing it out.
Yeah, Glazers are just, I feel like this close to a win, and I usually don't have cope for people, for teams that are at the bottom, but after casting Glazers yesterday, they have just so much potential, and even sad, I think we're below expectations today, just not coming out with a strong performance. Here are the standings though. Oxygen, I know through the green you can kind of see it, but overtaking that number 2 spot from Together We Are Terrific.
And I do agree with what you were saying, Wyatt, about Sad being the dark horse for me. I felt it that way. I think I mentioned it earlier today, but it's now that you're seeing things shape up, it does get a bit more difficult. Next week it is. Obviously, every single week it becomes more and more important as the scores settle, but it is one of those crucial points when you need to get the 2-2 and you need to do anything to end that positive. At least you're not at the bottom, kind of doomed to go to relegation, but there's a couple of chances here, and they're really going to matter even for what is going to be how the mid-season is going to look like.
Yeah, for sure. I feel bad also for those poor thinking men. You know, they've thought so much, but where has it gotten them? 0-3, tragically. But they looked so good this week against Moist Shopify with Lear coming into the team. But it's looking like a too little too late situation for those guys, unfortunately. I mean, they still have a chance to go 2-3, which would be a nice turnaround. And they had an impressive game this week against Moist Shopify, lost 1-2. But, too bad for them. Possibly in the future stage, they will be able to have a better run, but I still think they've got some time to impress. And then, in the other group, I'm really looking at Turtle Troop to turn things around here and have a good run because they're more than capable of it.
I like the switch from what you were saying earlier today about Turtle Troop, but not getting to the expectations that people meet now of like getting very excited to see them. And I think it makes sense, right? They played pretty well. Yeah, for sure. This was easily their best game, like easily. Ascent and Lotus were super good. I think especially Ascent was the best map that I've seen from them so far in Challengers. So on the up and up. So I'm excited to see what they can do next because the roster is way too stacked to be, kind of stuck in the mid-table. Like they shouldn't be there. This team's way too stacked. They're looking good. They're looking good. A lot of teams, again, and I feel like this whole weekend I've said it a couple times. Every single time that we see them, the better that they're looking. I'm actually very excited to see how those predictions are going to continue to change now that we get to make those predictions and nights on Twitter they get to post them and see how that's shaping up. I think it's been turning out really interesting. I think there should be a count limit, but I just want to ask you any hot takes for next week.
Any hot takes? Man, that's tough. I think people should stop underestimating Thinking Men. One of the two teams that took actually a map off of Moist, so watch out for them. I think Core are on the up and up now. They got that win. They got the confidence. They're definitely building up since the season has started. I think Sad versus the Glazers is going to be the most that's actually so many exciting matches. Sad versus Glazers and TTR versus TSM are all very, very, very close. And I might have lied about today's close match, but I swear next week is going to be some bangers.
Okay, and Wyatt, give me one or a couple hot takes just to close us off today.
I'm trying to. I don't know if I have any hot takes.
You don't have any hot takes?
I think they're all just like, I don't know. They're like
average
room
takes.
temperature. Yeah, they're really not. They're not that scorching. I mean.
No deadlock takes? Like deadlock
Turtle
actually
Troop.
good?
He's not gonna say that ever right there.
That's true.
I listen. I mean, I'll go with. Listen, I'll take Turtle Troop beating TSM next week. Is that a hot take? I don't know.
A little bit.
Sure,
I'll
go with that.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. And TWT Moist Shopify is going to be a really close game. I swear. Today was not representative of TWT. That's going to be a close game.
Now
I swear, you guys.
No,
it isn't. It's not a hot take. It was just a rough day. It was a bad day. They're going to be terrific next week. I promise.
Together they will.
Okay, guys. I think when we get to these jokes, it's time to close this up. Thank you, everybody, for watching this week number 3. We had some very exciting matches, but remember, next week is going to be just as exciting, if not more, to keep following your favorite teams, the teams that you didn't think were going to make it and that are suddenly making it, and those teams that are 0-3 that out of nowhere might start making a comeback. Make sure you continue to watch and support Challengers, because all these teams are giving it their all, and just like that, we'll see you next week.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. 10 seconds left. One enemy remaining. Spike planted. Sensor tricked. One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. One enemy remaining. 10 seconds left. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Nothing left. No. Last player standing. Long. 30 seconds left. One enemy. Fight down A. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. You were so... One enemy remaining.
Enemy down.
They're standing.